What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I was sidetracked, could you tell? Today we're looking at the Tuya Scaphoid. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're looking at the Tuya Scaphoid today. We're going to be doing size comparison, profile comparison, weighing the knife, and then we're going to jump into my thoughts and impressions. We're going to kick it off with a couple of budget knives comparisons. Here it is against the Migron Morial, my 2023 budget knife of the year, $50, 14C28 and G10, coming in about the same size as a bug out. And then here it is against the Bull Tusk, which is very comparable to the Rat 1. As you can see, I would consider this medium size, very comparable to a bug out. It is just slightly smaller than the Bull Tusk or Rat 1, whichever one you're more familiar with. But they're your size comparisons, so you can see how it compares against some of the more budget-oriented knives. Here it is against the Spyderco Shaman, which is also comparable to the PM2 for size reference. And here it is against the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. And as you can see, I would still consider this more, it's getting on the size of large, but it's more medium for me as well. We are going to use it against those larger knives for profile comparison. We're going to do real quick measurements while we have it down on the table. We're going to leave the Shaman out there as well. So you're getting a 3.5-inch blade coming in at 8 inches, and it looks like you have 3 3/4 cutting surface. But that is with a caveat, which we'll get here in just one moment. Let's compare it to the Shaman or PM2, whichever one you're more familiar with, because these are identical from Spyderco's lineup as far as length and thickness. I know that a little difference in the shape, but you can see these are about even. I don't know if the chamfering throws that off a little bit on screen, but those are even, and I think it's probably going to be very comparable to the Bull Tusk as well. So same thickness as the Bull Tusk. Look past that chamfering and you can see when you get out to the flat part of the scale, very comparable. This feels a little bit heavier, almost the weight of the Shaman, I feel like. Coming in at 4 ounces, so not bad for an all titanium pocket knife. Let's go ahead and jump into my thoughts and impressions now that we've gotten all of that out of the way. First and foremost, it's got a very tall flipper. It's above the pivot and it's got good jimping on here, very grippy, so it fires. No surprise there. And it's got nice solid action. I can tell you I've checked out quite a few Tuyas here in the last 6 months in the pass around group, and I really do like their quality, the build, and the action. It's not a dropper. It's not a guillotine. It's a shaker. Hopefully that makes sense. Good access to that lock bar. You see how they have those relief cuts in there? That makes it really easy to come in and let it drop to the thumbnail. Now, I do have larger hands, and I think because the thumb kind of interacts, it doesn't quite get past the detemp ball. Now it's past the detemp ball. So I think if you were to close it sort of like that, I think it could work. I don't think digging in and pulling up would work because you're still in front of the detemp ball. I like the inlays here. I love the twilled carbon fiber inlays. Very beautiful, very nice looking. You do not have any relief cutting on the inside, just flat titanium on the inside. You got the relief cut here with the designer. I forgot who the collab is on with this. Let's see. Oh, Jim Skeleton. That's weird because that doesn't look like, I don't know what his logo is. Am I upside down? It looks like a SB. Anyway, somebody can let me know if that's just how he uses his designer logo, or maybe that's what that is up here. I like this pocket clip. It's really cool looking. It does catch a little bit coming out of the pocket though. I've got it kind of stuck a couple times where I had to kind of yank it. But I do prefer the external relief cut because I feel like they're able to be more consistent with the lock bar strength on there. Lockup coming at around 40%. Dang, I can't see, man. The sun went away. The sun was out when I started this, or right before I started this. It looks a little grungy on the lock bar, but I'm just doing one. It's a pass around, guys. These aren't my knives, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm holding the pocket clip, finger off the lock bar, so no pressure on there. Yeah, so that's satisfactory to me. It bounced. It bounced. I wasn't trying to hit it twice. If you guys know, one whack, reset the lock. No thumb studs. It kind of is giving me Shiro-esque vibes, sorta, kind of, sorta, which I like. From that styling perspective, it just kind of gives me those vibes. I'm not quite sure what it is I'm picking up off of it that does that, but it does kind of give me that. I forgot to mention, you can feel the transition from the titanium to the carbon fiber, but it's not that it's sticking up. You can just kind of tell you're going from one type of surface to another, if that makes sense. I like the little bit of contouring on here. It's really nicely done. As far as ergos, I don't like the jimping from this perspective because it actually digs into the finger and starts to put like a little indentation there. It's really tight for me, guys. I hang off the back slightly, and it's just a little small for me, even though it is medium because of that flipper tab. I don't know that you could have done anything differently though. If you made it low profile, might not be as usable. You probably could take off just a skosh off of the top and it be a little bit better. But if you have medium to large hands, I think this is going to be really nice for you. I do worry about that jimping, digging into your finger a little bit, but it's not awful. You got a looks like an American style Tonto spear point with compound grind, so hollow ground here, a little bit thicker in the tip for the strength. We'll kick it down to the table for some cut test. Okay, we're in the garage, and let's see what this one feels like. I already can tell you, before I even kick it back up to the desk, not a fan of that flipper tab. It is really digging in, guys. Nice factory edge. Let's cut a little bit of cardboard, see if I can figure out where the hot spots are on this one. So slices through nicely on the single ply. Absolutely no issue. That's my fault. I slipped out of the cut because I grabbed, for whatever reason, a really long piece today. Yeah, that hollow grind's really nice. Where'd my paper go? Let's just see. Man, that pocket clip. I'm really feeling that pocket clip. Let's see here. Yeah, nothing to the edge there. Right there, maybe. Let's see. Yeah. Trying to figure out where it's at. See how much I need to drop. Feels like it has a tiny blemish. Not bad. Yeah, it feels fine. Might have been that I cut across some tape, but it feels fine. I'm going to kick it back up to the desk. So it did perform well. Didn't need hardly any stropping at all. I wish they would have put a little bit more of a finger sharpening choil, not a finger choil, sharpening choil here. It came with a smile already started. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not, but it already has a smile, and the next time it sharpens, it'll absolutely have a smile. The good thing with this one is it is an internal stop pin, it looks like, so you can just knock your own in there, and I would probably just do like, a little 45 to 90 degree angle notch in, coming and meeting it up, up here on the knife itself, and that way you can just flatten out the material here because it's not going to impact anything at all because it does have the internal stop in. Does feel like it's riding on bearings. I can't really see down in there to see if they're steel or ceramic, but generally Tuyas have the stamped ceramic bearings in there. It's a very nice looking knife. The blade performed really well, very slicey. It had plenty of bite. I very much enjoyed the cutting test on it. What I didn't do, because again, it's an overview, because I can't really do everything. It's not my knife. But I wonder if the acute point here would have been enough to do the detailed work from the table as opposed to trying to do it out on the tip. Really cool looking knife. It is coming in at $300, and there's a lot of competition out there for $300. First, you can get a Shaman for $230 and get yourself a set of scales for probably as low as $80 from Applied Weapon Tech. I think they have the Skinny G10 and the micarta, I think, for that little. I don't know if Original Goat is making them for the shaman yet or not. And then you have the opportunity with that to get an exotic or an exciting steel that's going to be really well heat treated. Additionally, depending on what style you like, there's quite a few Kunwus out there that are coming in. This one at $299. I think this one here is $239. I think this one here is also $239. So you have a multitude of options, and I'll move them up just a little bit. I realize I'm a little low on the screen, from Kunwu, and they're doing very good heat treats on their steel. They got LMAX, they got VanX, very exciting stuff there as well. I believe this one here is S90V, which is another steel that I like very much. I'm so excited to see manufacturers working with S90V. You can also look at the Migron lineup. So Migron has some very good knives that are a little bit more affordable. First, you can get the Pagos 2, you can get the Kyrex 2. Those are titanium with M390. Then they have the Migron Miro, which is going to be a little bit more full size. This one is M390 and titanium for $210. So very compelling prices on the Migron knives as well if you're a little bit strained to try to hit that $300 price point. The LMAX steels on the Kunwus tend to be around that $230, and then the M390 steels on the Migrons tend to be around $200. So very compelling prices. But this is a very unique styling, and again, it does give me kind of those Shiro vibes. I love the naked pivot, no branding at all. The S90V is done pretty well, very low on the flipper tab there, and you have, I guess, the maker's mark here up there as well. I like their satin finish, looks really good too. You guys let me know, what do you think about the Tuya Scaphoid? Do you like this one? Don't you like this one? Tell me about it down in the comments. Shout out to everyone that likes, uses the links, comments, and is subscribed. Shout out to my members. Love you guys. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.